Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Doesn't seem like there is a lot of news propping up, but I will do my best to get some of the news getting to you as best as I can. Well, what we have here is quite interesting from the House Judiciary GOP, because apparently Jim Jordan is on a actual attack against GARM, and we'll be going exactly over what a GARM is because I don't think everybody knows. I will probably also be doing a stream, or not a stream, but a video of Donald Trump and the interview, and it's going to be a long one, but I want you guys to see my opinions and everything on that. That's going to be a bit different because I can't do it today. It will take too much time with the editing, so I will do it at another time next week. Without further ado, though, guys, we have this. House demands info from dozens of major businesses over ties to shadowy ad cartel GARM and collusion probe over free speech. The House Judiciary on Thursday sent letters to more than 40 major companies in its ongoing probe of a left-leaning advertising cartel that has allegedly sought to defund news outlets and platforms, including The Post. The panel, chaired by Jim Jordan, asked the companies, which included Adidas, American Express, Bayer, BP, Carhartt, Channel, CVS, and General Motors, to preserve documents and provide information pertaining to their activities with the Global Alliance for Responsible Media, which is a GARM. The committee has learned that the collusive activity is occurring within the Global Alliance for Responsible Media, of which your company is a member. In particular, the committee has uncovered evidence of coordinated action by GARM and its member companies, including boycotts of disfavored social media platforms, podcasts, and news outlets. GARM initiated an initiative of the World Federation of Advertisers, headed by radical activist Rob Rakowitz, exerts control over some 90% of global marketing spending, and uses its big bucks leverage to go after free speech online, according to a bombshell House Judiciary Committee report released this month. GARM has deviated from its original intent and has collectively used its immense market power to demonetize voices and viewpoints of the group it disagrees with, the committee's letter said. The letter also noted that Rakowitz has espoused views that a platform with advertising was an extreme global interpretation of the U.S. Constitution. GARM allegedly directed companies to direct away ad dollars from right-leaning outlets such as Daily Wire, Fox News, and Joe Rogan's popular Spotify podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience. The Post has sought comment from Rakowitz. Will Gilroy, a spokesperson to the World Federation Alliance, called the committee's allegations of anti-competitive behavior unfounded. GARM is not involved in operational steps related to monetization, eligibility, content ratings, platform assessments, or media investment decisions, Gilroy said. Gilroy. Jesus. Okay, that's an interesting name. So, it goes on to say here, the decision where and when to advertise is always down to the individual advertiser in collaboration with their agency partners where relevant. The committee's report accused Rakowitz of telling GARM's member companies to rely on left-leaning fact-checkers such as Disinformation Index and NewsGuard. We'll continue on this. In 2022, GDI, a taxpayer-funded London-based group, unveiled an ad blacklist of 10 news outlets whose opinion sections tilted conservative or libertarian, including The Post, Red Clear Politics, and Reason. In an email to GARM members obtained by the committee last month, Rakowitz wrote that he wanted to ensure you're working with an inclusion and exclusion list that is formed by trusted partners such as NewsGuard and GDI, both partners to GARM and many of our members. The committee also obtained documents which show that GARM members were told not to run ads on X, which was then known as Twitter, after Musk purchased the platform in the fall of 2022. Musk bought Twitter with the idea of loosening content moderation policies, blah, 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 blah. So that's what we have here. Yeah, this is pretty huge. I think that if this is all to be correct, then I think it needs to be done. I think the social media companies and a lot of these companies have been pushing very far left and woke propaganda in our society, and I think it honestly needs to be dealt with. I think this is the correct way of dealing with it. But we'll see. I'll be sharing my opinions shortly here on how far I think this is gonna go and what the Republicans actually are going to do. Shadowy ad cartel that target conservative news outlets faces at least 2 possible state Republican AG probes. At least 2 Republican state attorney generals are weighing possible legal action against members of a shadowy cabal that reportedly controls 90% of global marketing spending following allegations that they colluded to withhold ad dollars from conservative outlets, the Post has learned. The Global Alliance for Responsible Media was accused of leading a coordinated effort to squelch online free speech and restrict ads to a slew of news outlets, including the Post, in likely violation of federal antitrust laws, the Republican-led House Judiciary Committee said in its alarming report this week. Representatives for the Republican state attorneys general of Montana and Missouri confirmed that they are examining the evidence uncovered by the House panel. So, yeah. GARM and all this great stuff. So we'll be going over this, exactly what's going to be going on here, what have you. So again, this is in the House Judiciary GOP, and there says the GOP, the Jim Jordan seeks documents from over 40 companies involved in Devil Marketers GARM Corporation collusion. Read the letters to all the companies here. So in California, it's Electronic Arts, HP Incorporated, RedBull Incorporated, and Roblox. Connecticut, Canova, Illinois is Canova, McDonald's Corporation, and Modellus International. Kentucky, Perfetti Van Mill. Michigan, Carhartt and General Motors. Minnesota, General Mills. Missouri, Canteen Corporation. New Jersey, a lot of huge companies here. So what we're seeing here is these massive amount of companies that were given this. This is what Grok says. GARM Corporation refers to the allegations of coordinated efforts among the members of the Global Alliance for Responsible Media to influence or control online advertising in a way that would potentially harm certain media outlets, particularly those with conservative viewpoints. The accusation suggests that these companies might be concluding to restrict advertising on platforms they deem problematic, which would impact the financial viability of those platforms and potentially infringe upon free speech principles, which is a huge issue, right? And I think that you can be doing this. It says, was Roblox aware of the coordinated actions taken by GARM toward news outlets and podcasts such as the Joe Rogan Experience, the Daily Wire, Breitbart News, or Fox News, or other conservative media? Does Roblox support GARM's coordinated actions toward these news outlets? And I think that we'll see what happens here, guys. Again, a lot what I have with the problem that I have with Republicans in general, or any conservatives for that matter, is that they like to open their mouth and not do action. And I'm always a man of action, not a man of words. Yes, words will get people in their feelings, and I will always be honest with you guys. I am not a man of feelings. I honestly hate the feelings thing because it is extremely annoying. People constantly vote or make their decisions on feelings and nothing more. And it ends up destroying a lot of communities, a lot of governments, a lot of countries, because you will vote on a feeling alone and not any sort of policy or actual logic, and the feelings take over your decision making, which is completely bloody stupid. I hate that. Anytime somebody does a feeling thing, it's aggravating because I'm like, okay, now you're just doing this by feeling, and that's just stupid. It's the same thing where, like, I would vote for a Democrat if I felt that their policies remotely did something good for the country. But as it stands right now, they don't really do anything based on policy whatsoever. And on top of that, they're always based on feelings and nothing more. I think I'll be doing a video too as well, kind of explaining on like the Democratic people on what the feeling is, because all I see from Democratic people and Democratic voters is that they go off of feeling and what makes them feel, rather than what's going on best for the policies, or they're so TDS that they don't make the right decisions and they always go based on feelings. But as of this, what I am seeing here of these companies, if this collusion is as big as they're doing it, as big as it is, then these companies need to be taken down. I think that what should be done is GARM should be completely removed, or at least separated in the matter, because you can't be doing this type of stuff. You can't be stifling free speech. You can't be doing this type of stuff. It's part of the reason why we're in a huge culture war. We need to be able to make a actual switch. We actually need to be doing things. And as I said, we'll see what happens. Now, again, Jim Jordan, he says things, but does he act on them? Do the Republicans do things if they act upon them? I don't know. I don't think that they do. Because the Republicans are so hell-bent on saying a lot of stuff to the American people, and they don't do it. The Democrats, however, they're hell-bent on saying things to the actual people, and then actually doing those said things. So I'll wait and see on how Jim Jordan does this. Hopefully they do fight against this corruption here, and we get back to some type of normalcy to where they're forced to make advertisements for everyone and not have to be pushing a radical narrative. But that's my opinion on that, guys. More videos to come today. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted, 'cause it's algorithmic disease, the social media.